Hello, this is Josie with KnitChats. I am going to demonstrate the stitch pattern for the Incredible Blanket by Purl Soho. I know that there are some of us who are having a little bit of trouble with the stitch sequence, so I thought I'd go ahead and make a video. A couple things to note on the pattern. It is, the stitch pattern is a multiple of 2 stitches, so that makes it easy. You can scale up or down the size of your blanket, and I would recommend, first of all, that you would do a practice swatch so you can get an idea of how the stitch pattern goes. So I have cast on 16 stitches. And there is a setup row. One thing to note, it's listed on the pattern, that in this stitch sequence there are going to be slip stitches. And so for all the slip stitches, you will do the same thing. You will be slipping the stitch from the one needle to the next purlwise with the yarn in front. So the setup row is slip 1, knit 1, slip 1, knit to the last 3 stitches and slip 3. So here's how that goes. So we're going to slip 1, yarn in front, then we'll bring it back to knit 1, slip 1 with yarn in front, and then knit to the last 3 stitches. So yarn back and knit, okay, the last 3 stitches are here, and now we slip those 3. So again, we're going to bring the yarn forward, slip with yarn in front those 3 stitches, and then we'll turn our work. Alright, so that was the setup row. Now we're going to begin the 4-row repeat that makes up the entire stitch pattern for the blanket. So this side is where you begin row 1, and this will be the right side of your work. So I like to suggest putting a stitch marker on this right side to keep track. Okay, all right, so row 1. We're going to knit 3, then purl 1, knit 1 below, and repeat that sequence to the last 3 stitches, knit 1, slip 1, and knit 1. Okay, so you'll notice that these slipped stitches here if you turn the work around, you'll see that the working yarn ends right here. What this is doing is we're going to make a built-in I-cord. So that is built into the pattern. In fact, you'll see as we work the rows, there will be slipped stitches on each end, and that just turns into a very pretty I-cord border. Okay, so your working yarn is here. You will now begin by knitting 3. And then we have a repeat of purl 1, knit 1 below to the last 3 stitches. purl 1, and then here's a special stitch. So yarn back, and we're going to knit 1 below. So the way to do that is you're going to take your right tip into this next stitch, and you're going to go into that stitch below. Wrap your yarn, pull it through, and then you're going to let that stitch fall off. And that's all there is to it on the knit 1 below. So we'll continue with the purl 1, knit 1 below, okay, you can open that up if you need to find the correct stitch to enter. All right, and here we are at our last 3 stitches, and then we're going to do a regular knit 1, slip 1, so we're going to slip 1 with the yarn in front, move the stitch over, and then knit 1. So the yarn goes back and we knit 1. Okay, so that is row 1. We continue in this color. I should mention this is color 1. My color 1 is the yellow, and we will do row 2 also in color 1. So we're on the wrong side, row 2. We're going to slip 1, knit 1, slip 1, so yarn forward, slip 1, yarn back, and we're going to knit to the last 3 stitches. And then we're going to slip 3. So yarn forward, slip 3. Okay, so we've just completed row 2. Turn our work. And now we will be cutting color 1. And you want to leave a couple inches. And we'll be joining another color. Okay, so as we join a new color, the pattern does recommend that we weave in our tails as we go. If you don't want to be left with a ton of yarn tails to weave in at the end, there is a way that you could weave in as you go. So I'll be demonstrating that at this point. Okay, so new color. So we are now on row 3, and this is where we add color 2. Okay, so we're going to knit 3, knit 1 below, purl 1, and repeat that to the last 3 stitches. Okay, and so we will be adding a new color at the same time and weaving in the tails. So we're going to loop our yarn over like we normally do to add a new color. And so we will knit 3. So that's knit 1. Now here on the second stitch, we can take our 2 tails. Here's our working yarn that we're going to continue knitting with. And we will bring the 2 tails over the top, and we're twisting it over the working yarn in the new color. And then we'll continue to knit. So knit 3, so that's knit 2, knit 3, and then we're going to knit 1 below. We will insert our right tip into the stitch below on the left hand needle, and then at the same time we'll take our yarn tails, bring it over the working yarn, and then knit 1 below, purl 1, and then again we're going to knit 1 below, insert your needle into the stitch below, bring your yarn tails over the working yarn, finish the stitch, purl 1, knit 1 below, twist your yarn tails over, finish the stitch. So here we are weaving our yarn tails as we go. And you can go ahead and leave that yarn tail in there, and then after you're done with your blanket, you can then block it and then snip your tails. Okay, so that's a nice way to go ahead and weave in as you go. Okay, so let me finish this row. Okay, so we end with a purl 1 to the last 3 stitches. We're going to knit 1, slip 1, so we bring our yarn forward and slip 1, and then knit 1. So again, we're going to keep this edge here, which is your I-cord edge. Turn your work. We're still knitting with color 2. And now we're going to slip 1, knit 1, slip 1, knit to the last 3 stitches. Okay, knit to the last 3 stitches, and we're going to slip those 3. So yarn forward and slip, and then that is row 4. So we've just completed a full 4-row repeat of the blanket stitch that's used here. So that is it.